Really excited to introduce a program designed for military clients, customers, or a way to market to them. I'm not myself, I'm not a service member, I'm not a veteran, but I come across clients who do, and I know you got to find the agent who's an expert in that business as well as a lender who's an expert in that business. I came across through a very good mutual friend, Scott Hayford, who not only has gone that level, he has another level, which is an application really designed to help agents be effective with service members. And those of us at EXP have a chance to market this nationally through our platform as well as attracting agents into our system to take advantage of it. So I really wanted to share with you this program. Scott, thanks so much for making time for us today.
Sure. Thank you for the time.
Give me a little background. What was the impetus or the driving force behind your creating Must Once?
So the impetus was I ended up moving 19 times in the military, and during those moves, ended up using a Excel spreadsheet to organize our houses between my wife and I because we're dual military. So she was active duty Navy, and I was active duty Air Force at the time. And it was always frustrating, that communication and the sharing of those homes and understanding which home was the priority home for us, depending on where we were and how I was in training or deployment or she was working. It was just challenging to organize those homes. So that was the impetus that resulted in us eventually building MustOnce.
And so what is the goal then? Obviously, that was the problem. What does Must Once solve or do for that problem to help solve it?
So the solution, or what we're trying to do, is reduce the friction and stress with the home search. So, and honestly, it's pivoted a little bit over the last couple of years in realization it's not just about the search for the home, but it's the entire process from the moment you receive those orders to the moment you are settled into your new home. That process is the stress, whether it's kids, dogs, the right home, the right neighborhood. All of those factors are things that we feel can be reduced if we can create a more effective technology or solution. And MustOnce is part of that, is finding that home in an effective way, not just by yourself, but with the right agent that understands that area that you're trying to move to and understands that the stress that a military family goes to, especially if they have kids and dogs and they're trying to do it all at once, and maybe one of the partners isn't there, deployed, training, etc.
Yeah, that's what I know about military relocation is it often involves two spouses. It often involves one who's not around. More often than not, has dogs, or I should say more often than average, dogs, more often than average kids. And for sure, well out of my pay grade to handle the complexity of trying to do that. Somehow, military spouses seem to kind of put on a cape and become Superman or Superwoman and manage that process. And I know there are real estate agents who do a great job of helping, and this is a tool designed to help. I also know it's important to have a lender who really knows, because while every lender will tell you they do VA loans or active service member loans, they just do them poorly, is my experience. And I would only, as a listing agent, accept an offer from a lender who specializes, like Danny Loang here in Los Angeles area, specializes in that business because it's so different. So towards that, give us a kind of a high-level walkthrough, Scott, through the program. I put the link down below so that people can watch on their own, but I'm sure you can give us a little more guided insight to what the program does.
Sure. So right now, MustOnce is on iOS and at the Google Store or App Store. So you can download it at either location. Our webpage is not designed for searching for the homes. The phone is being used, or your tablet is being used for searching right now. Eventually, we will integrate a web-based search. The webpage is there to provide interactive checklists. So one of the things we are working on is creating need boards. And for those in the military, they recognize that, especially in the aviation community, the ability to step through the process. You may be, as a military member, familiar with doing it every 2 to 4 years, but the reality is 2 to 4 years can be a long time with everything else going on. So we're trying to create a process where you can check the boxes as you go, but also communicate that to your agent and lender, so that they understand where you're at in the process as well as where you think you're at in the process, right? And that's a lot of times that's where communication comes into play. So for the application to search for the home, and right now we are only using the product to search to purchase a home, but eventually we will get to rental. home purchase is an emotional process. It's not just about, hey, I need a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. Give me a list, Zillow. What we are trying to do is ensure that the buyer is able to communicate what their priorities are in those houses. And the algorithm behind this is allowing us to do that. So as you can see, I'm actually changing the algorithm behind the scenes as to what my priorities are. And by doing that, I'm also communicating to my agent what my priorities are. And by going to my partner, I can actually see my spouse's priorities as well. So the power of that is now my agent is able to recognize my looking for a price point and my wife's price point for a house were different. So now that agent is able to have that conversation with us to try to get us in sync with each other versus wasting the agent's time in showing us a bunch of houses and none of them are meeting both of our needs. And that's part of what we're doing here. What this creates through the algorithm is a list of homes that are organized. So more effectively, what we are doing is communicating to the agent our priorities into an organized list. No other product is doing this. They'll give you a list of homes, but they're not organized. So what this is doing is actually taking, I said a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, I must have, but I want a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. And as you can see, the 4-bath, 3-bedroom house is up at the top. And that's how they're organized. Then emotion comes in. And that's the part, a lot of algorithms are out there to try to, the AI is there to try to solve what a human is thinking, but they're forgetting the fact that in the end, it comes down to the emotion, the right neighborhood, the right kids in the area, things like that. And that's what this is doing. So as you can see here, I've hearted some homes. They are now listed, but now I can go in and I can grab a home and I can drag it up. So I just changed the rank of the home. My agent now knows that, and my wife now knows I've just changed the rank. I can see my wife's homes, and then I can compare them.
Is this a tool?
So here you can see my number 1, her number 6.
Is this a tool the agent is bringing to the consumer, and then the consumer is connected to that agent, or is this being is the consumer switching agents as they find different?
So there are 3 ways to access the product right now for the home buyer. The home buyer can download the app and start using it, or an agent can offer the product up to the buyer, or a lender can offer the product up to the buyer. So for example, in this case, you saw that Remax was up at the top there, but that just happens to be because I had connected with this agent. If I remove this agent, which I just gave her a notification, I can now connect to any one of the other agents on here and connect with them. If I go back to the app itself, you can see I'm connected into the Bright MLS in this case. So for EXP agents who are subscribed, which we do have several in some of the states, we can actually connect to them, and then their logo would show up at the top here once we connect to them. And that's how I can connect. Agents have referral codes, so they can directly connect with a buyer, and then that would lock them in as a buyer. That would lock them into that agent. So that's what we're doing there.
Phenomenal. I think that's the opportunity for agents is you're giving a tool that's different. You know, everybody can go into Zillow, but Zillow is really an advertising platform first and an agent platform second. Here, you're giving your customer a tool to help them better. Tell me about the lender side of that. When the lender introduces it, can they introduce it to a consumer? Is the consumer then connected to the lender? And how does an agent get involved at that point?
Yes. So very similar. We're working on from the lender standpoint. Would you like to be referred to a lender? I can say yes or no. If I say yes, you can see we have these are subscribed lenders right now. This is Trident Homes, Revolution, and Homestead. These lenders are all VA lenders. They're experts in their fields. I've known them for about 4 or 5 years. So they're some of our first lenders that have come on board. Nice. And in each case, the ability to connect with them is built into this product. So once I confirm, if I hit this button, he's going to get a notice saying I've connected to him, and then he needs to call me. But I can connect with him. And what that does is, again, it helps the agent communicate and understand what the buyer is doing, how far along the process the buyer is. What we are hoping to do here with additional capital is we are going to allow the EEXP agents or the real estate agents to add their preferred lenders into this. So available lenders would also have their lenders as part of this. And then that agent or that client can click on an individual lender and connect to them this way as well. So now that agent is providing an additional service to the client as well as to the lenders as far as what they're providing as far as a service.
Well, my goal today was really just to give us a high level, you went a little deeper, which is great, to give us an insight as to how the program can be used. And I think from where I sit to support your mission is really I'm encouraging the realtors that want to work the military market. Here's a tool to differentiate yourself, to try to lock in consumers to you, which is a key part, and to build attraction or recruiting, which is an important part of building a business. And to the lenders I work with, if you're military focused, I mean legit, don't say I can do VA loans. Like if you're looking to make this your business of building a business amongst military focused real estate agents, this is the only tool I'm aware of that can really help the consumer connect to the realtor, help the realtor connect to the consumer, and build your business. So if I can help, please reach out. But Scott, thank you for your time today. If somebody wanted to connect to you, if they're a realtor or lender, wanted to look about getting on your platform, what's the next step they should take if they're interested?
So they can reach out to us via our webpage. They also can reach out directly to me at scott@mustwants.com.
Scott@mustwants.com. And if not, reach out to me and I'll be glad to make the introduction. Scott, again, thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for the time, Bill.